Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are. I hope each of you is doing well and finding some peacefulness this weekend. The video I'm going to make today has to do with us twin flames and how we resonate as far as the depth of our relationship, but also the relationship with those around us. Um, and it's also going to have to do with what it means to be a person of color and colorblind at the same time. Now, of course, I mean this a bit metaphorically, but the twin flames are people of color because everybody's a person of color, okay? I mean, when you look at me, I'm a person of color. I mean, clearly I have blue eyes, I have brown hair, um, light colored skin. Um, these are all hues. My aura also has a color to it. And the twin flames come in all colors the same as you do. So when we say person of color or people of color, we mean all of you. I mean, doesn't everything have colors? Not just skin. We're made up of colors. We are one big color scheme. And this is something people on a spiritual journey come to terms with and they realize on a very deep level, which is what this video is going to be about. It's going to be about the depth versus the surface in our lives. And when the twin flames see each other, they don't see any kind of color hue other than whatever comes into their line of vision. I mean, we don't distinguish and we don't do that with other people either. And a lot of people like to use that term as a way to get their point across. And what we're saying is everyone in this planet blends together. Okay? It's like we make a rainbow if we put our auras with it. How could we not? So let's get one thing straight. We need to be loving each other because of how we look and how we feel, and not the other way around. And that's where things are kind of going off the rails lately. It's kind of always been, but with the invitations, it's just crazy. So we don't want that. We want social media to be used as a positive way to connect with each other. And that's why I like to do these videos, is just to let you guys all know out there that we're thinking of you, we're with you, we're loving you the same as we're loving one another. And what tends to happen is people who are kind of stuck up here on the surface, yeah, they will glam onto us twin flames. They don't really know why. They just know that that's something they want. They want to come a little below the surface and they want to start their spiritual journey. They're just not quite sure how. And so they glam onto the twin flames and they sometimes get a little bit off put because we're just so deep and so far down into our spiritual journey together that they they just don't know what to make of that. And so if they get like some feedback from us that can be a bit critical, or a lot of times we just will choose to ignore you and stop talking to you or block you on our social media. Um, Not as far as, maybe not unfriend or block you completely, but we'll block you from communicating with us because we're just, we can't go there. We can't bring things to the surface because we just can't. It's almost like if you took an RV, okay, and you set us in it, and then you threw it into the ocean and you watched it sink. That's where we're at. And then you got people sitting on the top looking down with their life preservers, and they're floating around, and they're like, can we get down there with them? Well, no, you can't, but you can start to do your own spiritual work, and you can start to come to the space that you know deep inside that you need to be. And it's almost like a bubble for twin flames. We're in it together, and we're floating around, and it's a place of extreme positivity and extreme love and compassion. So we don't see, when we look at each other, we don't see the surface. We don't see the colors. We see what's within. We see our energies. We see that aura type of draw that brings us in and helps us to be able to heal, you know, and heal other people as well. So if you see tears in someone's eyes, okay, the tear is on the surface coming down. That's a surface thing, right? But the depth, that's the feeling beneath the tears that created those tears. And it can be very strong sometimes. Um, when we talk about surface, it's what somebody looks like, what they're wearing, maybe what they're saying. But when we talk about depth, we're talking about the feeling they give off to themselves, to their twin flame, from the inside and out. We're talking about the energy that's about them, okay? Um, and what you need to know is that, since I brought up tears, I'll go into that a little bit. That's kind of the one thing about us that doesn't have a color, right? Aren't they clear? Okay, so we see you. Us twins, we see you. And sometimes we see you through our tears, which means there's a clarity, okay? And even when our eyes are filled with them, we still see you because they're clear. And they're clear as they come down our cheeks and they give us a new perspective, okay? So just know that that's one thing about all of us that doesn't have color. It makes us colorless, okay? And that's a good thing. Why? Because there's a clarity there. You can see through something that's clear. You can cut through all the stuff in your life that shouldn't be there. Anything negative, negative feelings and thoughts, okay? You can see very clearly through those tears. And what happens is you can go this way or you can go this way. That's a choice you have to make. And the twins, we're here to help you make the right choice, the right path, okay? Literally. If you're willing to heal yourself, we will take you on that journey together. Um, but at the same time, a lot of that has to come from you. It's something that you need to make a clear and conscious decision that you want to change, that you want to do. So when I say depth versus surface, I will post this video, okay, on my social media, on my Facebook, and I will welcome any kind of conversations with you that involve talking about this path that you would like to be on. What are you doing in your life that's bringing you here with us? But I have, you know, an introduction onto my Facebook, and it's very clear that I don't engage in picture exchanges, video calls, any of this kind of surface stuff, okay? If you want to engage with me in social media, you need to bring it. You need to bring it deep. Okay? I'm not your life preserver, but I'm going to help you find your own life preserver. So I would be more than happy to engage with you on Facebook, on the private messenger. You can find me, Jody, Jodie, Johnson, Johnsson. And I am in Japan in my profile picture wearing a red sweater. I just leave this picture up there because my twin flame took that picture. And I'm happy with it, so it stays. And I get a lot of this commentary off to the side and private messages about the picture and how much people seem to like it. And that's great. But please stop messaging me and calling me baby and telling me how pretty or whatever beautiful it is to see me, beautiful picture, telling me I love you, all of these fake things, okay? Or, making comments that are of a sexual nature, okay? So this stuff is surface. This is where I'm going with that, okay? That's surface. So if you want to have a conversation about things that have to do with the meaning of life, the journey we're all on here together, how we can come together as one big family on this planet, okay? And how we can start to solve the problems that we're having here that are very surface, okay? They're surface on the surface of this planet, um, but the result of it runs deep, doesn't it? Okay. And in order to find our place of peace and happiness, that's where we're striving to go. That's what we are evolving to. That's why the twin flames go through many, many lifetimes, life cycles together, because each time we do, we get it a little more right. Okay. We get to that place we need to be. And what happens is we don't leave other people behind. Okay. We're not doing that at all. We just need you to see that your soul energy, okay, is striving to get to that depth as well. And in order to get there, you got to start to go below the surface. And that can be a little scary. That's okay. What you need to do is dip your toes in. Just dip your toes in, then dip your whole foot, and just go a little bit at a time. There's no sharks there. This is your world that you're creating. And you need to bring it to a place that we all know is very, very peaceful, because it's solidarity with each other, with our Creator. It's that oneness that makes us live here in paradise. It's all about perspective, you see. I mean, a lot of people choose to wake up and say they're in just a complete hell. They're in hell. They're suffering. But we get that, okay? We've been there. We have. But you have to be willing to go below the surface. And you have to be willing to take a chance with yourself. Explore it. Okay? You'll be surprised what you find there. And that's how everyone is going to start living in more of a happy, peaceful time. You know, um, when that happens, we start to heal from different ailments, um, different schools of thought that are outdated, uh, different ideologies that are just not healthy. Um, you know, we're all people of color, you see, and a beautiful color it is. Thank God for that. You know, this is how we need to understand each other. So, thank you for taking a moment for 15, 20 minutes to listen to me. I would love for you to find me on Facebook, reach out to me, private message me. It may go into filtered messages, that's fine. I do check those too. I tend to not put the comments um, on here on these videos, just because I don't like to see people make a comment and then other people turn it into a debate and then they get back and forth and back and forth. That's not what this is. Um, so I tend to leave that off because we live in a time where people take things just a bit out of context, and it's easy to do so when we are writing. Okay, so if you do want to talk more about it with me, I would be more than happy. Um, my twin flame also, I'm sure, would be happy to discuss it from the divine masculine perspective as well. And we just hope that you are here to take this journey with us, and we can all learn from each other. And when we do that, when we learn from another, we get just that much deeper. And that's really what it's all about, folks. So have a wonderful weekend. And again, thank you so much for listening. And just remember, our tears are clear. Okay? That's the only thing that's not of color with us. And it's very, very important that you understand why that is. Have a great evening and weekend. Thank you.